Today we're super excited because it's our first ever Ideathon, and as a part of the Ideathon, it's essentially a competition among high school students in Bronzeville to find, novel ideas for smart cities. And so today, the students are actually working on their first workshop out of three, where they're planning and finalizing their plans for their ideas, and also beginning to prototype their ideas on the Arduino kits that they'll be using to prototype. They're microprocessors, and essentially the students are going to think of all types of sensors that they would like to capture information to be able to do something else. And in this case, the question that we're asking of students is to think of an idea that can work for a smart city. And so what does that mean? So you can have a sensor that is put on a pole, like a ComEd pole. And if the pole falls down or is tilted in some way, it will ping our system to allow us to send a crew out right away. And so essentially, students are using real microprocessors to create sensors to essentially solve real life problems, like for safety, for health, arts and culture, and a whole host of things. We actually launched the Ideathon December 9th. We had tons of students from the area Bronzeville high schools. We had mentors from all cross sectors, Accenture, AECOM, Sergeant Lundy, and then we had lots of ComEd engineers and leaders. So we were very excited about the launch. After the launch was essentially to introduce students to the competition. So it was basically like a big rally to get excited and to learn about what a smart city actually is. And then after that, this is our first workshop that we're at now. Students are actually now working on their Arduino devices, beginning to prototype their ideas. And then after this, there will be two other workshops that will happen where students will begin to refine and finalize their concepts. And this will all culminate at the end in early April, where we'll have a Shark Tank event where students will get to pitch their ideas to a panel of judges and compete for, who has the idea that's most fitting for a smart city at the time. We've been very fortunate that our ComEd engineers have taken great time, personal time, to actually develop a curriculum for students. And so essentially they've created how students will use their Arduino device. They've thought about, to make it appropriately challenging, but not too challenging, so that it's right size for them to be able to bring their concept to life. They've been working with, each team individually to help them understand how to use the device, but they've also been working with mentors to help them understand how we would like the students to use the devices. So our ComEd engineers have been invaluable for getting Ideathon off the ground. I'm so impressed by the kids that I've been able to meet, the schools I've been able to go into when we were recruiting students for Ideathon. These are really smart kids, and their ideas are amazing, and it gives me so much hope and optimism for the future. What's great about working at ComEd is that they have a host of programs that are directed towards young people to learn STEM and to make STEM fun and approachable. The Ideathon is in its first launch this year, but we have a legacy of programs at ComEd like the Icebox Derby, like Solar Spotlight, and we're so very excited to be a part of that legacy with the Ideathon. And so what it does is that it offers students a really approachable way to see how their life is changing and how STEM is directly applicable to their everyday lives. And the whole reason that the Ideathon came about is that it was part of our community of the future, which is starting off and kicking off in our wonderful Bronzeville area. These are all Bronzeville high school students, and essentially we're asking them to participate in the activity of, being in STEM, but also understanding that they're living in a STEM lab that ComEd is building all around them. It would really warm my heart to see like a student work at ComEd or work at Accenture or AECOM, to see that we actually made an impact, on their lives in just a small way. So I'm very, that's what I hope for. And that they have fun. And I see a lot of smiles here, so I think that's happening.